Hello everybody, I'm Neil Olson. My father and I have been doing P90X for a little over a year now. When I started P90X, I weighed about 330 pounds, as he'll show you now, and dropped about 130, so I'm closer in that 200-pound range now, which is much better. Through that process, the only way I could do it was through modifying, and I had to modify a lot of the moves, and setting the intensity level to make sure it was always intense, but I was still moving, still working the group of muscles that were supposed to be working. Through doing that, you do build up, and you will eventually be able to do the moves in P90X. When I started, this was my side tri-rise. I went against a wall, got into the position, and had to do side tri-rises like this and set intensity level. You can do that by moving your body out. You can actually get those to be pretty challenging, but eventually I worked my way onto the floor, and now when I'm doing the exercise I can do about 30 reps. Sorry, Tony. Anyway, I also want to show another move for the this would be a tricep move. It's a modification to make it a little more extreme. For this, I like to have the height of this. You could probably use a weight rack if you had one. But I like to go off the chair because it's the way I learned. Then you set the dumbbells there. You need some weight to make it a little more sturdy so it's not going to move around on you. You don't want to be flying around. And so what you do is you get down. These are really going to allow you to get deep into the tricep workout. But probably should be able to get pretty close to a 90-degree angle. If you look at my tricep and my elbow, try to get 90 degrees on your dips. And that's going to really help you feel it more. Now again, on this isn't chair dips or table dips. That's what they're called. You're not engaging your core. You do that. I mean, if you can do that, that's
Makes
great.
it a different exercise, though.
If you can do that, that's great. But what you're going to do is you don't want to fly around on something like this. You want to play it safe, work your tris, and work your other muscle groups when you get to them. So that's my move. It's really more of an extreme modification of a move that already exists, I know, but I want to throw it out there so that people can see it. Hopefully it helps people. And again, if you have any questions, again, there's a lot of moves that we had to modify, my father and I. So if you're maybe a bigger guy out there and you're thinking, how am I supposed to do P90X? Well, go find me on the Beachbody member. Type in "Yeah buddy," I'll be your buddy, and send me any questions you have, and I will be happy to answer to the best of my abilities. And the biggest thing you can do is try to find somebody who is doing what you're doing so they know what you're talking about when you're asking them questions. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Darcy Olson. I'm working with my son Neil Olson, doing P90X for just over a year now. This is Neil's gym, and welcome to his gym. What I'm going to let you know that's been most important for me for P90X is the advice of keep showing up and push and play, modify, 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 and drink your recovery drink. And that's why I'm in this contest too, is I want to win some recovery drink because that stuff is awesome, okay? Now, back to modify, 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 I have found something that works for me to be able to modify on the toe tapper for the AbX Plus. We don't really in this gym have the height to be able to have the ability to be able to really hang and toe tap. And to be frank, I'm still heavy enough and don't have the upper body strength to be able to do it as well as I'd like to. And by putting a couple dumbbells on the floor and adjusting. I can create. I can focus on putting that work where it needs to be using this modification. So. That suffices as a demonstration of my modification on that P90X Plus toe tap using dumbbells on the floor. Thank you. Beach.
Hey everybody, I'm Olson. You just saw my father, Darcy, Olson, explaining the origins of a modification for a move that we've been doing, and now I'm going to show a little bit different modifications to even bring it up to be a little more intense. It's about setting intensity levels with modifications, and here we're going to show you some more levels. So, he showed you, it's just the standard toe tap. You can also bring your obliques into it. You can also keep both legs straight, come up, and do pulse-ups like this, and you bring it off to the side, to that yoga one. Another pulse-up, go back a little deeper. And continue that to the other side, explaining why we use the dumbbells here. It's because when I don't have the flexibility in my hips or shoulders or whatever it is that needs to be flexible to keep this down without the weight. But if you use it to push off, then you're cheating. So you don't want to cheat, but you want to keep your back on the ground. You don't want to get deeper. Now, if you want to bring up the intensity even more, you can go back down to your start position every time. So do that. Over, back, pulse, down, pulse, back over. That's a tough sequence for me. Alright. Getting the Olson, adding a little bit to my father's modification. When we started, when we started about a year ago, I was 130 pounds heavier. P90X has helped me drop weight, as you can see. That's because of modifying, and it's because I couldn't quite do everything. I couldn't do push-ups, couldn't do pull-ups, still can't really do pull-ups. I can do a couple, but now I can do about 300 push-ups, and I started on my knees, doing maybe 10 sloppy, ugly ones, but I did them. Also, if you have any questions, it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek video, but if you have any questions, you can find me on Beachbody. Yeah, buddy, I'll be your buddy. And I'll address any questions you have.